Over a year ago, I reviewed this creepy critter, but now, there's more. Now what the f was that? Typical Walten Files moment, I suppose. Anyhow, Mr. Walls is back again, dropping even more bangers as we're going to be checking out the official Makeship Boozoo Sha plushies. And I'm super duper glad they did come out, because it was last June when we initially saw these guys, and then it wasn't until early this year that we got an update on them and they actually released. And since the photos we saw last year were clearly prototype versions, I was really worried that maybe they just were cancelled and weren't gonna come out, but I'm super glad they did. Dropped on Makeship for the usual 3-week period only, and the amount that sold is the amount that were made. And for these, there's only about 1,500 made for each of them, so super limited to the plushies right here. But our old friend Bon here has been very lonely for the past year. This is getting out of control here. For an unboxing video of all things. So, okay, I know it's Walten Files, whatever, la-di-da. Let's just get right into it and review these things before things get even crazier and I end up getting goddamn demonetized. So, you may be wondering why on earth there are 4 of them here. I decided to buy 2 of each because it's a popular subject and very limited edition plushies. Consider it an investment, if you will. But don't worry, I'm going to be keeping 1 of each. I bought 2 Shas and 2 Buzus. So, let's get right into the first one. Reveal. Oh, it tells you right here, doesn't it? Well, here we've got a Sha. Alright, so let's get right into it then. Always got a lot of the awesome Makeship bags that they come in. Got all your other partnerships on here. All your other characters that they release around the same time. So, let's check out our new Walten Files, eh? Oh, I can feel it. It's so fuzzy. Alright, awesome. Finally, someone new to the Walten Files collection. This looks, wow, surprisingly bigger than I expected. Alright, and here we've got Sha. And overall, I think it looks really, really awesome. I seriously love it a lot. It's got great presentation and super high quality with loads of different materials used throughout. The first thing that I said when I felt this in the bag that really stuck out to me is this wool here. It's textured super duper well. It's really soft and fluffy and feels really unique. And it looks just like a sheep should do. The face here looks really, really good as well, and it's exactly what you'd expect from something Walten Files related. I always love how they do the plush eyes all off-centered and cross-eyed. Really gives it that undead, unnerving look that the Walten Files has intentionally done. There's lots of other little details plotted onto the face here, which I really, really like. Lovely attention to detail, like this coming out of the eyes here, little wires, withering, even separate pieces as well, super neat. And what I love here as well are the wires coming from the mouth. They're actually little bits of ribbon, but they do the job. And then you've got all those other details to complete the look, such as those sheep ears, the big massive grin, and the little nose there as well, just to complete that look. And the body here is also pretty good, not quite as good as the face, cause things do get a little bit cheaper here. You can see there's a lot of printing. It's really similar to that of Bon, actually. Base-wise, it looks pretty much almost identical, except for obviously different colors. You've got the very similar endo arms and legs, but they are slightly different. I'll do a comparison with Sha and Bon in a moment. The withering here as well, it's nice detail, but it's also printed. The chest piece is printed as well. It's pretty much all printed when it gets to the body, except for this base piece. But the hands, the legs, and the stomach parts are all printed. You even got the name tag here as well, which I'm super happy to see, with Sha's name on there. So yeah, really awesome. Really only problem with it is the mass amount of printing, but I guess how would you really do this and cut costs normally, because there's a lot of detail on these arms and legs, alright, but it would have been cool if they at least tried it with a body, I suppose. But yeah, they've got different tags going forward as well. Brand new tag. I actually think I might like it a lot more. It's got a nicer shape to it, nice contrast in colors, nice combination of green and blue. And as you can see, Martin Walls, only 1,582 of these made. If I remember correctly, I think Sha sold a little better in Buzu. We'll see in a moment. January 2023 is when the campaign went up, and then it ended in February. And then the touch tag, same Makeship as usual. So yeah, awesome plush. But how does it hold up to the original? the man himself, Bon. Both of which are great quality plushies, and the quality standard has sustained over the long time ago that Bond did come out. And I'm just noticing, you notice how big the difference is in the amount of sales that Bond got compared to Sha? 4,356 of these Bonds out there. It's November 2021. Sha, only 1,582. Suppose it's because he's the main character, and also Walten Files was much more relevant back in November 2021 than it is now. We haven't really gotten anything Walten Files related that's major in a very, very long time. I know Walten Files 4 is still being worked on, but I know that Martin is, really just treating it as a side project and working on it when he feels like, which is totally okay. Yeah, looking at them, they're pretty similar in size. Sha is a bit bigger though, especially with the massive head here. And overall, I actually think I like Sha a lot more. I prefer the colors. It's got more detail to it, and I just think it looks better, honestly. And there we have Sha and Bon. Now let's look at the final plushie here. As you can see, we've got Buzu. And I find it pretty crazy that we actually got Buzu as early as we did. I honestly thought that we would get Bonnie and even Billy first, because they're obviously much more marketable characters, as well as Rocket, even though Rocket's not as major as Buzu. It's just Buzu doesn't seem as marketable, but I'm still glad he came out because he's awesome. So here we have, here we've got Buzu. What a chap this bruv is. And another great plush at that. The Walten Files don't miss, brah. And we've got another super duper unique mold going for him. And the top of the head here, we've got his iconic Ringmaster top hat here. And I'm already noticing our first fault with Buzu here. It's the fact that the hat isn't actually stuffed. This happens quite often with plushies. And I've never really liked it because the hat always tends to fold in on itself in that case. You've got the ribbon there as well though. Pretty neat, separate piece. If it shouldn't come off. So the hat is pretty neat. I just wish it was stuffed. It would make it look a lot nicer. It looks a little messy otherwise, but still pretty alright. The face here looks pretty great as well. Looks just like Buzu, nice attention to detail. His big mustache here, his massive cheeks, the little tiny eyes as well all off the side per usual. And the nose here as well, which I think gotta be the worst thing for the face. I wish they did the same as they did with these two and had it just sewn on in its own embroidered piece. But they made it like a separate piece and it does look a little cheesy, a little cheap as well. But hey, overall the face is pretty good, but the body though, I find to be really, really good, possibly even better than these other two, because firstly, it doesn't have much of the actual endoarm going on, so that means there's not very much printing, and then of course, his awesome Ringmaster coat jacket going on here. It looks incredible, really, really well done, loads of detail on the body here. Look at the legs as well, none of that printing going on, awesome little shoes here too. The gloves, it just looks really, really good. The bow tie, the buttons. There's a separate piece for this shirt as well. It's really, really well crafted. Maybe the reason why it's sort of cheaper in the face with the likes of this and the understuffed top hat and all, because they were putting more work into the body than they did with the other two. Because it clearly shows. Oh, and yes, as I said, I would be right in saying that slightly less Buzus did sell compared to Sha. We've only got 1,455 of these Buzus out here. And yeah, Martin Walls again, same tag per usual, pretty awesome. And then Tush tag as well, buried under here. Looks the same. And with that, we can complete the Walten Files plush trio. What a delightful set of plushies we got right here. All of which look super duper awesome. And you totally gotta get all of these because they're incredible. I really, really hope that Makeship and Martin Walls collaborate again to bring out Bonnie and Billy plushies as the next wave. Because these guys are awesome and I'm sure they'll sell pretty well.